Hi there, everybody. I am here at Summer Game Fest 2025 with, it says here in my notes, the King of Meat, Johnny Hopper. No, that's the game. The game is King of Meat. That's
correct.
But you are Johnny Hopper.
I am indeed, yeah.
And I presume you to be the King of Meat.
Thank you very much. Yeah,
absolutely.
The crown.
Yeah, you've earned it. You have earned it. So first things first, I want to know right away, I want an elevator pitch of this game because what I've seen, it looks incapable of an elevator pitch. So I want to hear you try.
It's something we've always struggled with it because there's quite a lot going on. King of Meat is a 1-to-4 player co-op social party action game. It's kind of part WrestleMania, part Jim Henson, part weird giant horse hooves smashing you to death.
That was actually an incredible elevator pitch. You had me at WrestleMania. Good to go. Kept me at hack and slash. That's incredible. We've seen co-op dungeon crawlers before. What sets this one apart?
That's a good question. So there's one of the main things is that every single level is created in the game. It's a UGC kind of create tool as well. So everything, we're shipping the game with about 100 levels. All of those levels have been made in the game with the same tools that the players are going to have. So the life of the game is about players getting creative, getting their hands dirty with our tool set, and publishing some really, really fun content for other people to play. A lot of people think I'm not creative. You know, if I give you a piece of paper to draw a picture, you'd be like, I'm drawing a little butterfly. Right, exactly. Yeah. So we've tried to kind of make the tools and the way that you create really accessible to allow people to do stuff they didn't really realize they could do.
Cool. I hear that there's going to be puzzles. The puzzles are going to be user created as well?
Absolutely.
So what kind of puzzles?
Well, so, I mean, the way that the level creator works is a puzzle is just like a sort of an output from what you've decided to make. So, you know, when you're making a level, you place down some rooms and that gives you a bit of a play space. And then once you place those rooms down, you can customize each one of those. You can change the floor, you can set it on fire, you can put in bad guys, you can put in traps. And then underneath all of that, there's a whole logic system. And this is where you could kind of create those puzzles because then you can hook it all up to interactions and switches and whatnot. And suddenly you've got like a new kind of gameplay experience. So really the puzzles are just one way that you could choose to use all those kind of things you've got at your...
That's super interesting. It sounds like a combination of puzzle, hack and slash, a bit of party game, and a little bit of platform.
Yeah, it's all of those things. And you know, one of the challenges with a kind of a user-created kind of content game like this is allowing players to kind of do all that sort of stuff in an accessible way. Most people who play games are not game designers, and to say, right, make something that's fun is actually quite a challenge. Yeah. So we've really concentrated on making stuff easy and communicating like, you can do this and you can do this, and then allowing those pieces to kind of come together into something that kind of it actually is sort of naturally fun.
Is it going to be a wholly co-op experience, or will there be PvP elements, or is it going to be you with your team working together with something you've built? So
for launch, it is a co-op game. You can obviously play single player, you can play match made with random people, you can gather your team together and play through the dungeons. It is 1 through 4, so you can play with any kind of combination of players. But one of the really kind of interesting kind of things we've discovered is that while the game and the levels themselves are cooperative, there's quite a lot of competition in there because first off, you kind of want to maybe be the best out of your teammate, and secondly, it's really fun to kind of push your friends off cliffs and belch them into walls, stuff like that. So you know, there is the to and fro, and it kind of naturally progresses because we can play the game together, and I'll mess around and just push you off the thing for a bit, and you'll do the same to me, and we'll have a laugh, and then we go, okay, let's get on, and then you kind of the game naturally kind of like writes itself, and then you carry on, and then you mess about a bit more. So it's a tremendously kind of fluid, fun experience.
How does the progression system work? When you create your own level, do you choose the difficulty? Is there a preset? How do we work our way through the game?
That's a good question. So the game is kind of divided up into leagues, and leagues have different kind of focuses on maybe difficulty or a type of level. So we might have a league that is like all platforming levels, or a league that is like, I don't know, everything's on fire, or it's full of penguins. But you know, and you progress through your sort of like player rank, as we have this thing called the Road to Stardom, which is a sort of progression, and you unlock different capabilities and content and costumes and so forth as you go as a player. As a creator, you you publish your level, you create a level, you publish it, and it can gather tips, which are kind of like a like system. More importantly than that is the kind of the social currency of having your level played by loads of people. And we have this discovery system, which is where every level that's made by the players sort of starts out, and the more it gets played, the more it kind of rises up in through the filters. I think the the game's going to launch, I think I said, with like 100 levels, but in a few, and that's levels we've made. They're just examples, and I think in a few weeks or months after the game's launch, that stuff is going to be absolutely eclipsed by what the community has made. We're expecting that, we hope that, we want that. We love to be surprised when we see something made in the tool set and we go, well, how did you do that? Because it happens more and more as people kind of get better with the toys.
So simply put, when can we play this?
So we haven't announced a launch date yet.
Why?
But why? Well, because we're just kind of like fine tuning the last few knobs and so forth.
Very cool. One final question. Okay, very important, maybe final. If your game was an ice cream sundae, because we are here in front of an ice cream truck, what toppings would be on this ice cream sundae? Now hold on, because I have a list of these toppings.
Okay, right, okay.
You're gonna choose from a dedicated list.
Excellent.
So don't let your imagination run too wild. If it's not on this list, it's not happening. But if it is, it's in the game.
There's a lot of things here.
And we're gonna put this sundae in the game.
Okay. Well, we're gonna do it. Okay, so it obviously gummy worms.
Okay.
Definitely, because they're kind of icky.
Yep.
And weird, but also delightful.
Okay. Like me.
Hokey Pokey Crunch, because I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
That sounds kind of a little bit gristly.
Yeah.
Rainbow Sprinkles. There's a lot of kind of like, the game's very colourful.
Cool.
It's a game set in dungeons, but they're not typical sweaty, manky dungeons. They are bright, colourful places, and some whipped cream. Why not? Because everything's better with whipped cream.
Everything's better with cream. And to close things out, we've got a special King of Meat sundae.
There we go.
Right here.
I've got my gummy worms, and I got my rainbow sprinkles, the Hokey Pokey Crunch, and of course everything's better with whipped cream. There we go.
You gotta give it a try.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, if King of Meat was an ice cream, this would be it.
That's it. That's it. What do you think? You've had worse?
Yeah.
King of Meat.
The gummy worms really stick with you.
Yeah, they're there. For better or for worse, they're there. Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm looking forward to King of Meat.